Hello, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I am glad that you decided to join me on today. My second review is for Our Kind of People, Season 1, Episode 12, Kiss It Up to God. So the episode started off with Angie, Pat, and Nikki sitting around talking, because it doesn't sit well with Angie that she's not getting all the answers she needs when it pertains to her mom. And so Patricia said they're going to take Teddy down. Oh, well, before all that happened, she had showed Nikki this new product, this hairline product, and she named it after Nikki. Nikki's crown or Nikki's halo or something like that. And she was so excited about it, whatever. They was all excited. And then, Angie wants to finish what she started. Patricia wants to clear her sister's name, because that was the whole purpose in coming to the island. Not the island. I'm sorry. They're not on the island. It might be the Bluffs. I know it's Oak Bluffs. I think it's man, what do they call that place, guys? Honey, it's almost 1:00. I done lost my mind, but the Vineyards, right? Okay. So, because I'm thinking they supposed to be on the Vineyards, right? Okay. It's supposed to be in the Vineyards. Okay. So, Patricia shows Nikki. Patricia shows Angie this gun that Darius gave her. And she was like, I know it had to be involved with, I know it had to be, it had to be something dealing with Teddy, because Teddy told him to get rid of it. And so now Angie, they trying to put the pieces together to see, who did he kill with this gun that all of a sudden he wanted Darius to go and, go get rid of, dispose of it. Okay. So, Nikki, then Leah is at home reading her mom's letter, and Raymond gets out the shower. They serving eye candy, glistening, and he made mention to Leah. He was like, normally, whenever I get out half naked or whatever, I don't, you ready to do something. And so she was really preoccupied, with her mom, reading her mom's letter, and, grieving process and taking it all in. Plus now she have some other ideas floating in her head that her daddy could have possibly done it. So, she's in a little turmoil right about now. Okay. So, Tariq and Raymond are having, Tariq and, Ted are having breakfast, and Ted is telling him going over the itinerary or whatever. And so Raymond comes down, and Teddy tells Raymond, hey, the cop says that, Leah was one of the people who went over to Jack's bungalow, and So she had to go to Jack's bungalow, she had to step outside of her marriage, because you not fulfilling her need or whatever. So, Raymond, of course, Raymond got back at him, and he was telling him, unlike you who had an illegitimate child, he got right back with him. So, because the nerve of Teddy, right? So, okay. Taylor and Nikki and Lauren are at the beach, and, they were talking about the grandmother that passed, Rose, who had passed or whatever. And, Nikki had said, her grandmother was her everything and whatever. And, hey, I'm going to go and enjoy some of this beach because, school's getting ready to start and they won't be able to be at the beach. So, she gets up and goes. So, Taylor and Lauren are talking, and she was like, so Taylor is basically saying, look, I need to break up with her. I don't want to string her along. This sucks. I don't like how I'm feeling. I'm not trying to hurt her. And Lauren is, Lauren to me, it's like, okay, I think Lauren and Nikki are in a way better place, and they are or trying to they are trying to and have built a little relationship or whatever. And so the thing of it is, I think Lauren likes the fact that I think she okay. You enjoy the little relationship you and her are building, but at the same time, you like the fact that she don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I think she feel like, well, that's what she did to me. She did the exact same thing to me. So why do I feel guilty about it? Whatever. Okay. So Nikki calls Taylor over, and she was talking to her. She told her she loved her, and honey, Taylor let her have it. Taylor broke her heart, and she was like, "You trying to break up with me? Oh, you trying to break up with me? Oh, I didn't mean anything to you." And I'm like, "Girl, how long y'all date? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? For you to be having this whole big hissy fit, like, but maybe that's young love or whatever." And so she was like, "I hate you. I hate I ever met you." I was like, "Oh Lord." I guess that's that real 17-year-old foolery that she have going on, and she bumped her, and I was like, "Come on, Nikki, it didn't even take all of that, You bumped me, you want to fight because I'm breaking up with you? That's stupid." Okay. So she go home and she's crying, and Angie's like, "What's going on?" Because Angie and Nate was sitting there talking, and she was like, "What's going on? And what's wrong?" And so she said, "Taylor broke up with me." And she told her, she was like, "Babe, you're going to have many loves, many people." She said, "You think so? You're going to get over it? You think so?" "Yeah. Yeah, you live to fight another day, sweetie." So, Angie had cooked. So Nikki had took some pasta and threw the pasta, some over her shoulder, and threw some at Nate, and they had a whole little family moment, throwing a whole big spaghetti fight. It was nice. It was cute. And so Leah goes to talk. Angie goes to talk to Leah, and she told her, she was like, because actually he came, he was being rude. He was being rude too, because he came into the room talking about, "I'm gonna hate to see you go." But no, you're not. But he was like, basically, "Yeah, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. See you whenever." Basically, that's how he said it, right? And so she was talking to Leah, and so she was like, Teddy had something to do with Louis' death. And she was like, "I don't believe that," or whatever. "What are you saying?" She said, "I have the gun. I have the gun. I don't know, exactly what happened, but I have the gun." And so she was like, if what you're saying is true, I lose both my parents in a week." And so she was like, "I've already lost mine, and until you can realize the situation, I don't see how we're gonna be sisters." Which you can't just strip everything away from, you can't strip Teddy away from Leo, because that is her dad. He raised her. He had a lot of influence on her life. So yes, he have done his dirt, but you got to realize, Leo loved him. She loved her mom. Right now she's in that headspace because she's thinking, I know good and well he had something to do with my mom, with the death of my mom. So Angela tell her, she was like, "I got the gun," and so she walks out, So Leah is thinking, you're like, what? Because now, it's like, it's just all coming, you know what I'm saying? And so she's trying to put the pieces together in her head, and she goes and talks to the ladies of the Gracie or whatever, because she's really trying to get Angie in. She says she made a mistake, and there goes Olivia DuPont. "What are you doing? Like, we don't go backwards, and we don't do this, and we uphold traditions." And I was like, somebody shut her up. She get on my everlasting nerve every episode. But tonight she got on my, but Tuesday night she really got on my nerve, okay? And I was like, girl, shut up. Be like, just shut up. And then, we for so many years we've done it this way and done it and done it and done it. And Madam President, if you can't uphold this and that and the third and the fourth or whatever, maybe you need to step down. So, cause me and Rose and Leah flew off the handle, cause it's fresh. Her mom just died. You don't talk about my mother. And so Angie Giddle, See, that's one thing about your sisters and your brothers. They know how to go on and handle you and get you together. You know what I'm saying? And so Angie grabbed me. She said, hey, calm down. Calm down. Don't let her see you sweat. Don't let none of them see you sweat or whatever. Do what you do best. Okay? I know you want to slap the spit out of her. Calm down. Do what you do best. Baby, she turned around. Lil was like, okay. So he turned around and she was talking about the ball, wear your best outfits and this and that and the third. And okay. Because Olivia just, So, Nate proposed. It was nice. He proposed to Angie. And he was showing, she had came in and he was playing like when she first was, doing the hair product stuff. And she was like, what is this? She had the old wine and, he took her back down memory lane. And lo and behold, here come Tariq interrupting. And he wanted to talk to her or whatever. So Nate popped the question, but she didn't get a chance to answer. Okay, so she goes and she talked to Tariq and, he's telling her about, the plans or whatever. Because, like, he's trying to figure out what happened to his dad. She's trying to figure out what happened to her mom. And, he saw what was happening. And so, he knew he was going to have to do something, right? Because he haven't walked away. He haven't washed his hands of the relationship. He wants her back, or not that they broke up either. They took like a pause or whatever until they both can figure some things out. So a pause is not a breakup. We just gonna put it on ice for right now and figure some things out. So that's where they were. Okay, so let me see, guys, because this was Tuesday. Here I am Friday trying to give it a review. Okay, so the Illumination Ball was coming up. And so everybody had to, dress to the gills or whatever. And I'm trying to just make sure I didn't forget anything. So the Illumination Ball, because other than that, nothing else happened between Nick and them or whatever. So here come the ball. And, no, wait a minute. Before the ball, right, Tariq had took Angie out on the beach. And, he was saying, hey, he wanted to buy that beach, but then he didn't have a reason to buy. Like, something was missing, so it didn't feel right to buy it, and something was missing. And so he, expressed himself. That he would love to spend the rest of his life with her. He would love to build her own Angie's crown, and he laid it on thick. And so she was like, give me some time, let me decide. So mind you, Nate wants to marry her and go back to Boston. He wants to marry her and build a life there. Okay? So she goes and she's talking to Leah. And, Leah was like, what are these rings at? And she was like, I don't know. I don't have money to, decide. And, she was like, wow, you got 2 proposals. and and it was crazy. So Taylor and Leah was in bed, and so Taylor and Lauren was in bed, and Lauren have this like a tennis bracelet on or whatever, and so Taylor was like, "Oh, that's pretty." And she said, I got you one," and so she went and opened the box, and it's missing. So she's thinking Sloan is the one stealing all her stuff. So she go, okay, so Sloan's grandmother catch her and Quincy, and kissing or whatever. And she tells Sloan she gonna have to leave, and you gonna have to get out the house and blah blah blah. And then the grandmother informs her that Lauren was the one who brought it to her attention that they was messing around, sneaking around behind her back. And so she was like, "Your sister, she doing too much. She been sleeping around. Her and Taylor been creeping around on Nikki, behind Nikki's back. Like she's such a hypocrite and blah blah blah. I'm so sick of your sister, blah blah blah." So so they all meet up for the illumination ball, right? And so Taylor walks in, and Nikki was already there or whatever. And so she was like, "I'm sorry." She said, "No, don't worry about it. Somebody told me it was just for the moment. It'll be over. I'll be okay." She was talking about her mom. And so Quincy had walked up to Lauren, and he was asking her about why would you go and tell her grandmother that stuff? Why are you in my business? And what are you doing? You such a hypocrite. You walked around here, and you and Taylor was sneaking behind Nikki's back and messing around. And so Nikki's standing there, and so she was like, "Y'all are evil. Y'all are evil. This whole family is evil." And she walk off, and Angie walk off, and it was just ugly. It had got ugly real quick. And so Leah and Raymond was like, "What's going on with our family? I hope it's not too late to kiss it up to God." And because it's like, okay, everything is unfolding, right? And now Leah understands that how dirty Teddy is. It's rubbing off on the kids. This it's just how he acts is rubbing off on their children. And if we all continue to stay under the same roof, it's just going to get worse. Okay, so they already had put a plan together, right? So at the illumination ball, they hand Teddy a gift. And so, what happened was, Angie had Leah blow up these pictures because she was trying to see in which time, in which picture frame was Teddy missing, because the man, Calvin, who was Tariq's dad, was shot at a certain time. So if they can see, so she had her blow the pictures up, but she, under false pretenses, of course, and to see where was he missing. So so she had them blown up throughout for the illumination ball. And so after reviewing them and looking and stuff, she already came to her conclusion. So they presented Teddy with a gift, and the gift was the gun. And so they excused themselves, the whole family, and went in the room and had a whole big discussion with Teddy. And everybody wanted answers. So he admitted that he was going to run off with Eve, and Rose found out about it, and Rose was the one who accidentally shot Lewis. That's why she went crazy. She never could get over that, and he was just saying he loved her. He told her, Angie, "I love your mom. That was the love of my life." And and I mean, he was giving them answers. They were asking him questions. He was giving them answers. And Leo finally said, "I want you out this house. I want you away from this family. I want you out." Okay, so that's when Angie put it together. So she goes to Olivia and she says, "You know, I've been looking at the wrong person. You was the one who planted those drugs on my mama. You." And so Olivia came clean. She said, "I sure was, because your mama wasn't no good, and she this and she that, and honey." She said, "Mm-hmm." And she was like, "You don't have no proof, She told, "So yes, I do." And so she showed on her phone. Well, her phone dropped on the floor, and Olivia stepped on it. She was like, She said, "Oh, it's in the clouds. It's in the clouds." So now she's gonna be back Eve's crown. So Leah decided that she was gonna, go in business with Angie and let Raymond run Franklin Enterprises. And so they was excited about that, and honey, they was ready to go get some champagne, drink, and make love in the office. So Raymond got leave to go get the champagne. Sloan, Quincy come over to talk to Sloan because, he was trying to catch her before she leave. And he was like, "I don't care what they say. I want to be with you or whatever." And she showed him this pregnancy test. It ain't that easy to get rid of me now because now I'm pregnant. And so Nate is at home because he proposed. He was waiting on her to come. And because the ferry was getting ready to leave. And Nikki said, "Well, Mom said she had to go and talk to Tariq." I'm thinking she's about to go and break it off, and she's going to try to make it work with Nate. So she shows up, and Tariq, he was like, "Well, thank you for come letting me down in person." I was like, "Shut up," because I don't, just shut up and just listen. And so she said, "What are you talking about? Turn you down?" I'm saying yes. I was like, "No, why you didn't make it work with Nate?" So she accepted his proposal, and I guess Nate is gonna board the ferry and go back home. I don't know, but I'm like, why didn't you try to make it work with Nate? Like, you guys never had the opportunity to see where it could have went because Nate got locked up. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like, like in life, I just feel like, you don't want to be left with shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or what if what if we would have. You know what I'm saying? So why not make it work with Nate, Nikki's dad, and build this, even though you and Nikki are family and you will always be family. Now you're adding him into the equation because he's been gone for so long, and you love him. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a soft romantic. Anywho, so Leo sits in her desk in the chair and turn around, prop up her feet. Raymond is gone to get some champagne, and you can just hear this voice saying, "Teddy Franklin," and pow, pow, 2 shots. So Leo spins around, blood coming out. Mind you, he shot twice, so she shot twice, and it went off. So that was the end of the season. So I'm hoping there will be a season 2. This show is great. Guys, it went off with a banger. I mean, he thought he was shooting Teddy. I wonder if it was Darius, because whoever it was, he was not tall. He was not. So that was Our Kind of People. Kiss It Up to God was the theme. Season 1, episode 12. And it was pretty good. It was a pretty good episode. Yes, it was. Pretty good episode. So, we're going to wait and see what the networks say or whatever. Whoever got to, determine if there will be a season 2. They have all the reason in the world because the show, from the first time I watched it to the last episode, was pretty good season. So, because think about these boring shows that are year after year after year. So we shall see, guys. We shall see. Because the guy who was over Empire, who would produce Empire, isn't he the same producer? The one who Dame asked for his $6 million back. Woo! He had to go and literally ask you for his $6 million back. In public, in front of everybody. And you knew you owed. I ain't talking about $1, $2. But you know you owe somebody $6 million. Like, okay, child. Lee Daniels. Isn't Lee Daniels the producer or whatever over this show, the creator or whatever over this show? So we shall see, guys. I'm hoping they do actually come back with a season 2, a season 3, a season 4, and a season 5. So, hey, they can go in syndication like everybody else and get them some money, okay? So, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all later in my next video. Peace.